views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Get ready to experience the truth. Welcome to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Truth Talk Radio is the hit show that will illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. Unleash your intuitive nature while Deb helps you stop looking outside yourself for value and happiness, break through patterns, and move into your authentic truth at lightning speed. Truth Talk Radio will leave you feeling lighter, help you live with more presence, passion, and clarity, and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Now here's your host, Deb Acker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Acker, and you are listening to Truth Talk on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with me for the next hour as I help you experience the truth, nothing but the truth. Each week on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Central, we will have some of the most gifted and unique souls, speakers, and authors helping to move you into more light, love, and of course, truth. So, have you ever wondered how to build a healthy relationship with your body for natural weight loss and a healthy, stabilized weight? Today, I have Lemuela Christina here to discuss health and your relationship with food and your body. This Truth Talk today can help enlighten you on how to build that healthy relationship with your body. Lemuela is also an internationally renowned author and coach, as well as a world traveler. Let's welcome Lemuela to Truth Talk. Hello, Lemuela.
Hello, Deborah. How are you?
Good. So good to have you here today. I'm so excited to have you on the show. And I really want to jump right in. Before we really start talking about health and your body relationships, I want to talk about, I know that you just recently moved to Italy, which is so exciting. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about what prompted that and how you took that step?
Sure, I would love to. Italy is one of my passions in life. I recently just moved to Cagliari, Sardinia, which is an island off of the mainland of Italy. And I'll just backtrack a little bit. A little over 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, I was teaching elementary and I had the summers off. And so I went to Rome for the summer for 2 months. And I just fell in love with Italy. And so I returned back to the U.S. and I decided to save up as much money as I could to go live in Rome, Italy, and study the language. So I took a year off from teaching and I moved to Rome to study Italian. And before going there, I asked myself, what am I going to do with my afternoons? Because I had school in the morning from 9 to 1. And I thought, maybe I'll write a book on how I learned to love my body. And so that's what I did. I wrote Your Body Relationship when I was living in Rome. And I lived there for 6 months. I returned to the U.S. to San Diego. And this last May, I got this wild feeling that I need to return to Italy now. And so I was following some Italian language lessons online at the school here in Cagliari. And so I decided I'll go there. And so I booked my ticket 4 days later and flew to Cagliari, Sardinia. And I had booked my trip for 2 weeks to study Italian here. And I loved it so much. I changed my ticket for 1 more week. And then I changed my ticket again for another week. And I just fell in love with it. And I have to say that the second day that I was here, I asked the question, what would it take to live here? Because I don't know, my energy just aligned with it. And so the doors just opened and now I'm living here.
That is so exciting. And I really want to get to consciousness and bringing consciousness to the body and to food. But I want to ask you one more question, because I know a lot of people have dreams of doing something that's outside of their comfort zone, or doing something that's scary, or that's like, that maybe at some point they felt like has not been possible. What do you recommend to people who are, have that dream to do something that's, out of their wheelhouse or out of their comfort zone that may not be the norm? How do you overcome that fear and really step into that?
That's a really good question. I think it's like, you have to ask the question, where is the fear coming from and why is it there? When I was younger, I always had this dream of living in another country for a year and of learning another language. And I always thought I was too old. And when I had graduated from college at 22 years old, I wanted to go live somewhere else, but I thought I was too old. So I had these limiting beliefs that held me back from doing what I wanted to do. And I think that's really what holds us back from anything, is our beliefs. And as I got older, there were these dreams that I had, fairy tale dreams, that didn't come true for me. And I had worked so hard my whole life to get somewhere that I thought I was supposed to be, and it didn't happen. And I was very disappointed and crushed. And I just reached a point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. And I was 35 years old, and I was like, you know what? I'm not too old anymore to do what I want to do. Janis Joplin, in one of her songs, she says, freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. And I think I got to a point where I felt like I had nothing left to lose. I can finally follow my dreams. So I think to answer that, you have to look at, if you've got fear, if you have fears, where are they coming from? Like, what beliefs do you have wrapped around what's holding you back?
Yes. No, that's definitely an important, and really something that's really, really important to look at. So speaking of beliefs that are holding you back, Lemuela is the author of Your Body Relationship: Overcoming Weight Obsession. And Lemuela, I'm going to ask you, what do you think, what sort of limiting beliefs do you think hold people back from being able to achieve their health goals?
That's a really good question. I think that our society contributes so much to people being held back from achieving their goals. I think one of the most important things that we can do is actually get in touch with our own inner truth instead of following what other people say we should and shouldn't do for our bodies. And I think that when we get in touch with what is true for us, we don't necessarily have to have goals to achieve, because we're following what's true for ourselves. Our society has so many different messages that tell us we should follow this 30-day challenge in order to lose 10 pounds, and then your life's going to be amazing. And it's not really honoring to people, because they're following somebody else's plan instead of following what's true for themselves. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. Well, and what are some of the most common misconstrued beliefs around our bodies, and how can we really begin to change these?
So something that really bothers me is that our society has this quote unquote ideal body or perfect body, and people are trying to achieve this ideal image of whatever the media says is ideal. And so we've built beliefs around what we are supposed to look like or who we are supposed to be. And we're all actually on this earth to be our beautiful, unique selves. There's also beliefs about, and not everyone's going to agree with me on this, and that's totally fine, but there's the calories in and the calories out. I personally don't totally agree that that's the only way to do things. I really believe in checking in with the body, asking your body what it would like to eat, and really getting in touch with what your own body needs as opposed to following a diet. I haven't dieted in many years. And when I stopped dieting, my weight stopped fluctuating and it reached a healthy, a beautiful place. And I no longer have to stress out about what my body looks like, because now I'm in tune with what my body needs. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, perfect. So we are going to take a short break here. You are listening to Truth Talk Radio with Deb Acker. When we get back, we are going to talk more about loving your body and how to really honor your body and be conscious around food and health. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tim Darter.
And I'm Steve Kramer.
Join us on Spirit Fire Radio. Discover how to add the mechanics of meditation to your day.
And watch yourself connect in a whole new way. Find the amazing moments in life's routines that often pass us by. Add to your awareness with Spirit Fire Radio.
Tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. for your weekly guide to practical mindfulness. And to learn more, visit www.spiritfireradio.com.
Tired of traditional talk? People pontificating about this or that, the left or the right. Sometimes the truth is just all lost in the noise. Tune in each week to Straight Talk with Chuck Gallagher on TransformationTalkRadio.com, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, as nationally known guests talk about what's important to you, your life, your concerns, and your success. Tune in and turn on to Straight Talk with Chuck Gallagher. Visit ChuckGallagher.com for more information.
Are you ready for a radical shift in your way of being? Are you seeking a more deeply connected and fulfilling life? Awakened Living Radio is a show dedicated to helping you embrace a life filled with profound peace, connection, and happiness. TJ Woodward is passionate about helping you find your clarity, balance, and purpose. Join co-host TJ Woodward and Dr. Pat Basili on the first Monday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific Time for Awakened Living Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
A word of caution, if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Hello, everyone. We are back on Truth Talk. I am your host, Deborah Acker. My guest today is Lemuela Christina, and we are talking about health and loving your body and loving food. And before we continue, Lemuela, I want to ask you about your book, and to tell all the listeners about your book and the special offer you're offering today on our show.
Okay, cool. My book is called Your Body Relationship, Overcoming Weight Obsession, and it's a totally different way of thinking about your body. There are tons of tools in the book on how to change the way that you think about your body, because we are so trained in our society to hate our bodies and to judge our bodies. And the book is all about how to make peace with your body. And there's also ways on how to not overeat. I know a lot of people in our society now are dealing with starving and then overeating, starving and overeating. So there's lots of tools on how to just return to a normal lifestyle around food. And right now, for the day that the show is airing, I put the Kindle version of my book for half off on Amazon.com. So if you go to Amazon.com, you can just type in Your Body Relationship, or you can search for Lemuela Christina. And the Kindle is usually $9.99, but today it's for $4.99.
Great. Yeah. And speaking of changing our feelings around our bodies, and your book really with Your Body Relationship, how do you recommend, that we can begin to change our feelings about our bodies?
Great question. There's so many different things that you can do that are super, super simple. So I'll just start with one thing is creating a mantra. So, or just being aware of, let me start with being aware of your own thoughts. So many people probably aren't even aware that every time they pass by a mirror, they go, oh my God, look at my stomach sticking out, or, oh, I hate my arms, or my thighs are too big, or look at my, big fat butt. But the first thing you can do is to be aware of your thoughts. So as you pass by a mirror and hear something, you don't necessarily have to change it right away, but you can just go, oh, wow, that's interesting that I'm saying these certain things to myself over and over again. Then you can change what you say to yourself. Years ago, when I was really obsessed with my weight and really did not like my body at all, I began to notice my thoughts that I had, and I had actually asked myself, what would I like to believe about my body? Because every time I looked in the mirror, I thought, oh, you're so disgusting, you're so fat. And I thought, what would I like to believe about my body? Or I asked myself, and what I wanted to believe was, I love my body is beautiful. So every time I looked in the mirror, I started saying, I love my body is beautiful. And I didn't believe it for a very, very long time, probably for about a year. And then one day, I remember this moment so clearly, looking in the mirror and saying, I love my body is beautiful. And I was like, wow, I really believe that. I really do. So it takes years for us to develop beliefs, and it also takes time to change those beliefs. But with awareness is the first place to start when creating change. So I would say be aware of your thoughts, and then create a thought that you can replace after you've become aware of those negative thoughts.
That's really, really great. And what do you recommend to somebody though who's like, that won't be possible for me? Like, I hate my body. I think my body is so gross. I've tried mirror affirmations before, and they haven't worked. What would you say to them? What would you recommend that can help?
I would say absolutely, totally understand if you feel completely hopeless and helpless. I get it. I've been there. Also, I would say, remember that none of us are at the wrong place at any time. When you feel hopeless, and this is my thinking, when you feel hopeless, it's because you're looking at a very, very big picture of something. And like when we look very far into the future, we try to control the future. It's impossible for us to control the future. It's very hard. It makes the way we feel about everything kind of stressful. I like to just bring everything down to today. So you can handle anything that's happening today. So for today, would it be possible to be aware of your thoughts? We're not trying to lose weight right now. We're not trying to change our body. It's about being with where your body is right now. And as you begin to make changes in the moment, over time, things will change in your body. But bring it to where you are today, being aware, being grateful for what your body does do for you today. So making small shifts in the way that you think. Yes.
No, I mean, that's, those are beautiful, right? You know, it's like bringing that consciousness to the body, bringing that awareness of how, you know, I do a lot of work with self-love, and it's like really just all about, you can apply any sort of tools around loving yourself to loving your body and the way that you look at your body. So I think that that's really, really beautiful. I want to switch gears here for a second. I know in your book you talk about the abuse body cycle and the love your body cycle. Can you tell us what those are and how you discovered these tools?
Yes. So the abuse your body cycle is a cycle that I have found that the common dieter goes through. And when I was writing this book, I had to ask myself, okay, when I was dieting, what cycle was I constantly going through? And I noticed that it usually started with me. This is the abuse your body cycle that I believe dieters tend to follow. You're unhappy with your body and your weight, and so you decide to make a change. So you go on a diet. You find a diet from a magazine that says it promises you that you're going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days if you follow it. So you go on this diet, you restrict your food intake, and what happens next is you lose weight, and then you probably fall off the wagon, fall off the diet, and so you go back to your old patterns of eating. And then it's very common that people regain the weight that they lost, and then they beat themselves up emotionally for failing, for gaining the weight again, and then they're unhappy again with their body, and they look in the mirror and they hate themselves. And so how do they fix that? They go on another diet, and they find the next, maybe weight loss pill that promises that they'll lose weight, and they restrict their food intake again. They fall off the wagon again of that diet. They put on they go back to their old patterns of eating. They put the weight back on. They beat themselves up emotionally. They're unhappy with their weight again, and the cycle continues. And I have been told by hundreds of people that they see themselves in this cycle because it's a dieter cycle. So I call it the abuse your body cycle because it's not kind. You're not being kind to your body. You're not loving your body. You're not honoring your body when you're in the abuse your body cycle. But how can you break a cycle if you're not even aware that you're in it? So in my book on page 20, there's a whole diagram with the cycle, because once you're aware of something, you can begin to make changes. So the opposite of the abuse your body cycle is the love your body cycle.
Well, and I'm going to stop you right there because we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, I want to talk about this love your body cycle. And yes. So I'm Deb Acker, and you're listening to Truth Talk. When we come back, Lemuela is going to talk about the love your body cycle and how she discovered these tools. Stay tuned. We're back on Truth Talk, and I am your host, Deb Acker. I have Lemuela Christina here with us, talking about health and loving your body and loving your food and your choices. When we last left, we were talking to Lemuela about the abuse your body cycle, and then she was going to talk about the love your body cycle and how what those are and how she discovered those tools. Lemuela, can you tell us more about that love your body cycle?
Yes. So the love your body cycle is something, it's a cycle that I asked myself, okay, what did I do to really start to love my body and build a healthy relationship with it? And so I just jotted those things down, and then I created the love your body cycle. So the love your body cycle starts with being kind to your body. And that's talking nicely to your body, just treating yourself with respect. So we've got you're kind to your body, and then you honor your body. Ask your body questions such as, body, how can I honor you today? All next in the love your body cycle is to communicate with your body. And when I say communicate, I mean literally ask your body questions such as, body, what would you like to eat? Body, what do you need from me right now? And when you are kind to your body and you honor your body and you communicate with your body, what happens is you begin to build trust between you and your body. A dieter doesn't trust their body. They trust diets, they trust pills, which end up letting them down. But a dieter doesn't trust their body. So in the love your body cycle, as you begin to communicate with your body and ask it questions, you will begin to actually get signs and feelings from your body. In a sense, you're listening to your body, and you'll see that your body is actually on your team. It's your body is your friend, and you can see that you work together. So you build trust in your body, or the trust grows in your relationship with your body. As the trust grows, your relationship with your body grows, just like we have relationships with people in our lives. And as your relationship with your body grows, you love your body. And the more you love your body, the more that you're kind to it, the more you honor it, the more you naturally communicate with it, the more your trust grows, the more your relationship with your body grows, the more you love your body. And so that cycle continues.
That's awesome. Well, and you're talking about this whole relationship that we can have with our bodies. And you've touched on this a little bit, but I just want to ask you, what's the best way for us to communicate with our bodies?
Great question. So this is one of my favorite things to do in the morning, is to just take a minute and to place my hands on my body. Usually for me, it's my stomach, and just to feel myself within my body. Every morning I like to ask, body, how can I honor you today? In our busy lives, we're so busy that I think often we forget to take care of ourselves. And this is one way to just take a moment in the morning to just connect with ourselves. Sorry, what was the question again? Sometimes I just start talking and then I forget where I was going.
No, the best way for us to communicate with our bodies, which I love really getting connected to you, right? And tuning into you. I think that's beautiful.
Yes, thank you. And then another thing that I think is so important is gratitude. Taking time to thank your body for all of the different ways that it gifts you and serves you. How often, and I mean literally talk to your body, like, thank you, body, for taking me on a walk today. Thank you, body, that I get to be on this call or on this radio with Deb right now, that I can hear, that I can have this conversation, that, thank you that I can be at the ocean and I can smell the ocean air. Thank you, stomach, that you digest the food that I eat. Like, gratitude is very magical. I think gratitude is a magical wand. And when you start thanking your body, you will notice physical things in your body start shifting in a light and positive way.
That is really, it's really great. And just that gratitude piece, it's interesting to see how many things we can actually take for granted, and how many, like these little details, right? The fact that we can see, that we can taste and smell and hear, and touch, all of those things that are just, part of our everyday, but we can start to bring gratitude to that and really start to grow. I work with energy, and really just start to grow that energy of gratitude. And the more grateful you are for who you are and what you are, obviously the more, that starts to be reflected in your life. And so, you've mentioned some simple tools, and I just want to ask you, what other simple tools can you give us today that can start, that we can really start using right away to feel better about our food choices and our bodies?
Absolutely. So my favorite question that I came up with years ago when I used to be super weight obsessed, and I always felt bad every time I ate. I started asking myself, before I ate anything, how will I feel after I eat this? If I choose to eat this, let's say, chicken and rice, how will I feel after I eat it physically? And just taking a moment to connect with that energy or feeling of what I would feel in the future if I ate that physically, and how would I feel after eating it emotionally. So if you ask, how will I feel after I eat this, your body, you'll get the answer in a form of, it could be a physical sensation, it could be an intuition, but you'll know if it's a choice that is good for you or not. And just bringing up that awareness will change things, because usually what happens is people go, I shouldn't, eat that pizza. And so then they go and they have that pizza because they think that they shouldn't. But really, there's nothing wrong with pizza. There's nothing wrong with cheeseburgers and French fries. There's nothing wrong with any food. It's all the way that you look at it, or the limitations and judgments that we have on it. But if you check in with your body, does it actually want this food right now? Sometimes if it really wants it, then it's actually good for your body. If it doesn't, then it's not. But if you ask the question, how will I feel after I eat this? Then you'll have the awareness of if it's good for you or not. Another question that people can start using right away is, if I eat this, will I feel guilty after I eat it? Most people choose foods that they feel guilty after eating, if they're dieters, I should say that, because they choose from what they should or shouldn't be doing instead of checking in with themselves. So another question is, how will I feel guilty after I eat this? Another tool that people can start using right away is to sit down and be present when you eat. When you do that, you are honoring the food that you're putting into your body, and that food is fuel, and it's a gift for your earthly home, which is your body. So sit down and bless your food and be present with it when you eat. Another tool you can start using right away, like I said earlier, is just notice your thoughts about yourself and your body. And I have a chapter on this, but it's called Get Out of the Mirror. So stop judging. If you're going to go to the mirror to judge yourself, then don't even put yourself there in the first place to do that. And those are the things you can start using right away.
That is great. So we are going to take one more break here. And when we get back, I want to just switch gears a little bit. Lemuela lost her dad in her mid-20s. And I just want to talk about that and the influence of her dad in her life, and how we can really sort of reframe that transition, and just bring in some more inspiration around just living in presence and being in the moment and just really enjoying every single moment. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
What does it mean to be healthy? For each of us, it means something a little different. Discover the art of herbal medicine, a natural way to help our bodies respond better to the modern-day stress and toxicity of our everyday lives. Using organic herbs from around the world, the skilled herbalists at Urban Wellness in Kirkland can help you choose the herbs that are right for your body. Find your herbal solutions for common health issues at urbanwellness.com. That's HERBAN wellness.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
You got attitude? Keys to the rescue. Adjust your attitude with Keys Clear Protein Waters. So refreshing. Just a few sips of Keys will give you a whole new outlook, thanks to 22 grams of the happiest protein on earth. Tongue-tingling tasty without the guilt of naughty or nasty ingredients. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, maybe you need to drink too. Put a little woohoo in your attitude with Keys Protein Water. On Amazon or at Keys, Kees, please.com.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
Are you feeling broken from your relationships? Are you second-guessing yourself about friends, family, and lovers? Tune into the hit show that's creating a buzz in the love-seeking community. Love Seeker Radio, finding love for your authentic self with renowned love coach Heather Lynn. Tired of dissatisfying relationships? Kiss them goodbye and power up your love seeker energy. Coach Heather Lynn reminds you that you can just be you, the beautiful and perfect you. Visit heatherlynncoaching.com to learn more.
Hi, we're back on Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. I have Lemuela Christina here with us talking about health and loving your body and bringing consciousness to your body and food. And before we talk a little bit about your dad, because I really want to talk about that, but before we do that, Lemuela, can you tell listeners again how they can get a hold of you? And I know you mentioned too that you've got a book club. Can you tell the listeners more about that?
Yes. So I have a free virtual book club. If you go to lemuelachristina.com or yourbodyrelationship.com, it's a free virtual book club where you will receive a message every few days to inspire you to continue to build a healthy relationship with your body. There's also a Facebook group that you can join if you just search Your Body Relationship book club that has daily inspiration to teach you how to build a healthy relationship with your body.
And what is your website for listeners?
Okay, the website is lemuelachristina.com.
And how do you spell Lemuela? Just for
it's Lemuelachristina. And also an easier way is yourbodyrelationship.com. It's the same website.
Perfect. And so before we talk a little bit about your dad, can you tell me more? You know, it's like I know it's a constant struggle, especially too when you're on that the yo-yo diet and your weight keeps going up and down. What are your recommendations for someone for breaking free from weight obsession and really moving into this energy and this feeling of just loving your body and loving and accepting your body and your food too, the way that it is?
Good. So anytime we want to make a change, we need to do something different than we've been doing. So the first thing is to begin building a relationship with your body. How do you do that? There are many different ways. My book, Your Body Relationship, Overcoming Weight Obsession, gives you a plethora of ways to do that. But like any relationship, they all start somewhere, right? When you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, it starts somewhere, and you grow and you nurture it. And one of the most important things you can do is to be kind to yourself. So, but to begin breaking free from weight obsession, you have to build a relationship with your body, and society doesn't teach you that. It teaches you to judge your body. So you've got to do something different.
So, and I know you gave us so many tools today. If there was one thing that our listeners could start with, what would you recommend?
To start with, I would say start listening to your thoughts and start being kind. Be kind. Kindness is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself, and it's the greatest gift that you can give to another human being. Start being kind to yourself instead of judging yourself, and instead of putting yourself down. Start being kind and loving.
Great. And just, I know, speaking of being kind, I know you were talking about your dad, and for those of you who don't know, Lemuela, and I'll let you can talk more, but I know you lost your dad maybe about 10 to 15 years ago or so. And so I know your dad was all about loving others and being kind. Can you tell us more about the influence of how he influenced you in this work?
Yeah. I'm very honored to talk about him. He crossed over 12 and a half years ago, and he has been such an inspiration and positive influence in my life. He was a chiropractor and a nutritionist, and he just always loved people, and he used to always say, "Oh, people just need love." And so he taught me how to love people, but he also taught me about the human body and how to connect to it, how to check in with it, and how to honor our bodies. And even though I grew up and had my own body issues that I had to work through, I feel like now that I've learned all these different ways to build a healthy relationship with your body. I feel like my dad, in some ways, I'm carrying on his message because I'm teaching people kindness and love for themselves.
That's really, really nice. And then in terms of what did his crossing over, how did that shape your life, and how does that shape the way that you look at death?
So let's see, when he crossed over, I was pretty much devastated and destroyed. It brought me there's a gift in everything. So I can say it brought me to my knees, but I also, when he died, I felt like I had to find him because I didn't know what happened to people when they died. And I read books. I searched out a lot of different ways to find my father, and I can say that I have found him. I'm very, very connected to him now. He leaves me many different messages and signs. In one form, I receive a lot of dimes. He crossed over on July 10th, and I have received more dimes in the most unusual places than I can count, and I mean hundreds. And it's always when there's a big change happening, or I've asked him for a sign. It's something interesting. When my sister got married in Antigua, I found a 10-cent euro dime on the beach, and then also an American dime on the beach. And it was the day of her wedding. So that was a sign, but he comes through in many different ways.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, Lemuela, I want to just thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so excited that you were able to join us today. As a reminder, you guys, you can get her book, Your Body Relationship, Overcoming Weight Obsession, on Amazon by just looking up Your Body Relationship. I always love hearing from my audience. So if you guys have a comment on the show, or you would like to introduce yourself, you can always send me a note on my contact page at deboraacker.com. And you can also sign up. I have a free video three-part video series that is going on right now. It's a Choosing You video series on really how to put yourself first and stop looking outside of yourself and your, in your career and relationships for value, and really look within and just really on how to live in presence. And then also you'll get to be the first to know about my workshops and my events. Thank you so much, Lemuela, for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you. And if there's just really one thought that I could leave you with from our talk today, and really from just being conscious about your food, being conscious about the body, is to really just to notice how we talk to ourselves, notice what we're projecting onto ourselves, projecting on to our bodies. And it's like, how can we be nice? How can we be kinder to ourselves? How can we be kinder to our bodies? And really, even just when we're sitting down to have a nice meal, I know so many times we're so busy and we're always wanting to run around, and it's like, how can we actually begin to bring more presence into our life and more presence into our eating, where we can really, have that orange and savor that orange, or really smell our food and really truly taste our food before, as opposed to just kind of stuffing it down and moving on to the next thing. So thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, I want to just thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Tune into Truth Talk Radio every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com and experience the truth of who you are and who you came here to be. Each week, Deb interviews an inspiring guest and illuminates the truth to a wide range of topics, including love, life, purpose, career, consciousness, and abundance. Welcome to the world of infinite possibilities. For more information about Deb, including how to contact or work with her, visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com. Look forward to seeing you next week for more Truth Talk Radio.